Alright, let's breathe for a second. So Apple's been promising AI updates, huge iOS 18 updates and all these, but have they really delivered? You know, that AI Siri overhaul that was supposed to blow our minds off. Instead, we're over here wondering why alarms doesn't still go off on time and why the iPhone 16e is still being called a budget phone at $600. Don't get me wrong, Apple's been pushing updates, but at this point, it feels like they're just coasting. Let's get to this. So Apple really hyped the iOS 18 as this big AI update. This was going to be the version that made Siri smarter than ever. Siri was finally going to be contextually aware, and we are going to see all these cool features with machine learning, smart automation. But guess what, guys? The year is 2025 and AI is still a misleading advertisement. Siri is still Siri. It's coming in iOS 19 now. That's what they said. Which one's come until fall of 2025? That's around June. Remember, they proposed this June of last year. So why the wait? Well, sources say it is due to some internal issues, budget cuts, or changing of staff. Apple's been struggling to get it right. It's just kind of like when you promise a surprise party, but then you forget the most important part, the cake. They actually rushed this update because we have not known Apple to rush updates like this. Because of the oppression from other companies. Samsung already playing out their AI features, Google already blasting their AI features. But Apple was just left behind. But now they brought something that isn't really good. Now, this one still blows my mind. How in 2025, you spend top dollar, $1,000 plus on your phone, and still it can't guarantee that your alarms will go off on time? Really? Like seriously? Some iPhone users are still reporting alarms failing or going off at wrong times. Apple obviously said it was a bug, and they did release an update, but alarms are still hit or miss. So if you rely on your alarms to wake up in the morning, maybe you might not want to rely on that for your morning coffee too. Let's talk about the iPhone 15 Pro. Right? So again, you pay ₦1 million plus for this good, perfect phone, right? One of Apple's flagship models. The design is top notch. Everything is beautiful. But then, when you just jump on Call of Duty or a power-hungry app, the phone starts to boil. Come on, Apple, I thought we were done with this. The iPhone X came around, sure. XR came around, sure. Even the S I'm recording on still has those overheating issues. But we took it because, like, yeah, the phones were old and all. But come on, this phone just came out 2 years ago. Why should it still be having this problem? Come on. Obviously, again, Apple said they pushed out an update, the iOS 17.0.3 to fix this. But honestly, the fix didn't totally resolve this issue. If you are gaming or running power-hungry apps, like I said, the phone still gets hot. You might just want to get a heat-resistant case for your phone. Okay, now this one is no news. How can you call a $600 phone a budget in 2025? The SE lines were the budget phones, the $400 phones, not $600. Okay, now let's break this down. For $600, what are you getting? OLED, okay. Outdated design, okay. Type-C, okay. But still, that $600 can get you an iPhone 15 Pro, literally, or even discounted. And the iPhone 15 Pro is better than it in every way. They both have OLED, right? They both have Type-C. Let's not talk about charging speeds. They don't have Apple built charging speeds. They both have no, they don't both have Dynamic Island. The 15 Pro has Dynamic Island that has the notch design that is still updated. Camera, let's work on that. 16e got what? A fusion camera. We have a triple camera setup here. The ultra wide telly, 60 Hz in 2025 on 16e. I thought we were done with that now. Even the 16 still has 60 Hz, and I'm sure the 17 will still have 60 Hz. They tagged it promotion, so it's like pro phones. Even the AI that are saying, well, I've never seen the AI. The AI is not AI. But still, the 15 Pro is a better option. If you've ever had to make that option, please go for the 15 Pro, because that's for sure the better buy. Apple's got some cool tech in the background, but let's talk about the UI. So iPhones have been known to be very, very rigid with customization compared to Android phones. But it's not all that bad. Now you can customize app icons with shortcut app, change your wallpaper, and even tweak your themes a little. Sure, but it's not as deep as Android's full-blown customization options. But they've made some progress. You can finally give your home screen some personality, so you won't remain stuck in the same old layout any longer. But now let's talk about Siri. Like I said earlier, Siri is still Siri. All the promises, They've brought some Apple Intelligence features. I acknowledge that. Like, I think visual intelligence is here, and I think writing tools, but come on, we're living fine without those tools. The major tool that was supposed to shake everybody was that contextual aware feature that allowed Siri to be contextually aware. It could do more for you. So even the so-called smart suggestions, it's still feeling pretty generic. It just feels generated. It's like when your mom reminds you to have lunch, right? But then you have told her a million times that you have already had lunch. There's no context. Now, this one is another one that just looked unbelievable at first, but then after some research, I finally found out it was true. Guys, Apple Maps is still not good. I mean, it has gotten better. You do not want to see how it was before. Sure, you can now see 3D views in cities, and they added cool stuff like real-time traffic updates. But when it comes to accuracy, Apple Maps still has one of those moments where it misses a turn. And you're left wondering if your phone is trying to get you lost on purpose. I mean, Google Maps is still king. Guys, use Google Maps. It's literally the best out there. Sure, it also has some quirks too, like some areas that haven't been recognized. But with time and with the development of those areas, they will surely be recognized. Apple Maps, the navigation system, why would that kind of problem still be persistent? And it's just how little these problems are. They can easily be fixed with an update. But Apple just chooses. Now, of course, the ever persistent complaint with iPhones is the. You thought I was going to say battery, but no, we already had that fixed. Now it's the charging speed. With the adoption of Type-C in the iPhone 15 models, I was like, wow, this is the perfect chance for Apple to finally bring what? Fast charging. So what's it stuck at 30 watts? Everybody's trying to complain because for content creators that actually have to have an iPhone to do that work, can't get their phone charged up fast. When you literally have Android that are just killing it, literally. Compare 30 watts to 125 watts, 100 watts, 120 watts on Xiaomi and OnePlus phones. Wireless charging also goes at 100 watts, roughly 80 watts. But iPhone's wireless charging goes at what? 25 watts. Guys, for that reason alone, someone could actually get an Android phone over an iPhone. Because tell me why you will just plug your phone in for like 50 minutes and still it doesn't even juice up to like 85%. Come on, this is 2025. Apple, please. Even with the adoption of the silicon carbide tech, I know you don't want to sacrifice your design. You still want to keep the phone sleek, right? You can just adopt that kind of technology to make your batteries still remain that shape and serve us better. Please. Now for fun, I want us to do a quick comparison. Let us compare the retail price of the iPhone 16 Pro Max 256GB model to the manufacturing costs. Let's see how much pounds Apple is making. The 16 Pro Max is obviously Apple's latest flagship device, and it carries a retail price of $1,200. That's a lot of money. That's $1 million plus in naira. So now, the estimated production cost is $405. Let's break this down. So the display panel is $80, right? The screen, your OLED. The rear camera system, your wide, your tele, ultra wide, is $80 also. Now, I think it's actually okay because those are the two most important things that you use on your phone. Now, the A18 Pro chip, the latest chip by Apple, is $45, slightly above half of what we had in the rear camera and the screen, but it's still fine. Then the RAM, it's $17. Whew. Apple with RAM again. Wouldn't a 16 Pro with 16GB of RAM be better than the 16 Pro with just 8GB of RAM? Like, look at the competition again. See what Google is doing. They've proven to us that they can work fine perfectly without RAM. But tell us why the MacBook will be having 32GB of RAM, 16GB of RAM. Is it just for fun? No. Of course they know that it provides functionality. So please, we want that same functionality on our iPhones. So that's priced at $17. And the internal storage, I chose 256GB because it's kind of like the sweet spot. It's not too high and at the same time it's not too low considering storage space. So that is $25. And the most useless cost here, $19, is the camera control button. We did not ask, literally, we didn't ask. Nobody wanted a fancy button. I even thought we were done with buttons now, right? I thought the iPhone was just going to go buttons like this full portless phone. But no, we have a button, a completely useless button. Guys, if they had just put a fingerprint reader there, because I mean, the functions on that button can already be accessed with the camera. Even people mistakenly press it sometimes, so just disable it completely. But yeah, it's $19. That combined with Apple Intelligence, Apple found a way to increase the price of the iPhone 16 lineup by $100, and they made money off of it. These components contribute to a total of $485, like I said, which is about 40% of the retail price. This indicates a gross margin of approximately 60% for each unit sold. 60%. That's a lot. Now, in conclusion, I'm not saying Apple's out of the game. They still make beautiful phones. They have a killer ecosystem. iOS is smooth for the most part. Cameras top notch. But this iOS 18 AI promise, if it doesn't come true, and this 16e, if they keep promoting this 16e as this budget phone, whereas you can just get the 15 Pro, and it's literally a better deal, I'm just starting to wonder, is Apple trying to innovate? Like, is it innovating any longer, or is it just relying on its brand name, Apple? Because these days most people just buy iPhones because of the name. If you totally agree or disagree with me, drop your thoughts in the comments, and I'll see you guys in the next video.